have the two most sharp talkers that can ever talk. Amen. So you get ready for the sharp talkers. With that, none other than Dr. Vicky McCray.
Hello, Shark Talkers. I am so glad to be with you today. Thank you so much, Apostle Dr. Mays. We are always thankful and grateful for being here anytime we can, and we just thank you for having us on the greatest station in the nation, which is Shark Talk, www.wpgr.tv. Thank you so much. And if you would like to listen in live, please take a look at the number behind me, which is 712-775-8151. That number again is 712-775-8151. I know you recognize my guest today. She was here a couple weeks ago, and let me tell you, she lit the Facebook Live on fire. We got so many views, and thank you so much. This is the PhD in practice. Before I say doctor, she's gonna get it. She is Miss Danielle Siler, author of Tobacco Road. And let me tell you, we got so many views that I had to bring her back. And I'm going to keep on bringing her back because, I mean, she's got some stuff. Yeah, let me tell you, she's got some really good books. But today we're going to talk about her company, and I'm going to move my trademark down so I can see. Vision of Serenity. That's the name of her company. And it is a holistic type company. She sells a lot of products and everything. We're going to give you her website where you can go on there and just check it out. And I want you to go there and visit. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to the PhD in waiting, Miss Danielle Siler. Oh, yeah. And right. Look how we coordinated today.
I know, we're matching. And we didn't even plan. We're
That's right. So I would like to turn it over to you. Tell us a little bit about Visions of Serenity.
Okay. Well, hello again, everybody. Thank you for having me back. So Visions of Serenity is a health and wellness company promoting healthy minds and bodies through the healing and expressive arts. So we like to work with people around helping them get healthier minds, as I said, and healthier bodies. We do things like guided imagery, meditation, workshops. We also do expressive arts therapies. So, of course, I like poetry. So, spoken word, people who may have known me when I was doing spoken word as Storm. I also have a poetry book. People knew me from that. That was my very first book that was out, Dreams in Motion. Mm-hmm. So we do poetry as well, poetry kind of therapies where we have people write their own mantras. What do you see for your life? And sometimes when people start viewing their life in words and writing out how they see their lives, they kind of see where their path is going.
Exactly.
And they don't like it.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? Well, a lot of people need to do that.
Right.
Write it out.
Right. So we also have some other things to kind of keep you healthy. I've partnered with some business affiliates. So Sunbasket, you can go on the www.visionsofserenity.org website, and you'll find information on Sunbasket, which is kind of organically grown, farm to table company that will ship you good ingredients and foods to make healthy things at home. There are a lot of companies like that as well, but
there are.
Sunbasket is the one that I'm partnered with, so you can actually go on my website. They have some coupons available right now on the site, especially if you're new, where you can get, I think it's like $80 off to start receiving food from them. They also have some other, I think, first time or kind of freebies that you can check it out, so browse that. Also partnered with a company called Buddha Groove. They have a lot of meditation and wellness things, everything from crystals and the little cairns. You see those little stones that are stacked up? They have that. They have a lot of stuff. Matter of fact, you have the.
It's in my bag over there, but but anyway, next time we'll have it all together.
It's a little.
It's a pamphlet.
Yeah, that has a lot of pictures and photo pictures that I can show you from Buddha Groove.
Right on top.
There we are.
That's
hey, visual aids. I love those. So, if you go to the website, you'll see beautiful pictures like these that will show you a lot of things that they have. I love this company. They have a lot of cool stuff in here. So I'll just flip through a little bit of stuff so you can kind of see some of the things that they have for sale. Perfect for therapy offices or any space that you want to make kind of cool and kind of serene. They have everything from bath salts to clothing, jewelry, a lot of stuff too. So you can check them out as well. But one of the main things that we do are workshops. So we do health and wellness workshops. We're starting to get into retreats, which is one of the things that I was speaking to you about.
Yes. We're going to talk about that too.
Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, I was really intrigued when I went to the website because I was kind of torn today on what we were going to discuss on the show. I was thinking, well, we can discuss her many books, but when she started talking about her company and how it can really help each and everyone in areas if you're going through a little bit of stress and you just want to be able to go, let me just be calm and let me just deal with this and see how I can best work these things through. When she was talking to me about Buddha Groove, I thought, oh, this is really very interesting because, the first thing that caught my eye was the jewelry. Yes. And I said, oh, okay. And then the T-shirts and how everything just sort of fit together no matter what it was, whether it was the actual trinkets or the actual jewelry or the T-shirt. It just had a calmness about it. So I urge everyone to at least check it out and see what's going on. The other thing that I was very interested in were the sun baskets. And the food looked so inviting. So, her husband is a chef, so she knows about how food is supposed to look and how it's supposed to grab you and everything. So I said, wow, this is very interesting. Why don't we talk about this today? And that's why we are here, inviting each of you to the website. So what made you get into this holistic environment? How did you first decide that, okay, some people
to relax?
Need to, you take yourself way too seriously here.
Right. Well, I think we were discussing last time that I was going to be the first African American female to be the head of the FBI.
Oh yeah.
Originally,
these were dreams. Pipe dreams.
So that was my original goal, and they say sometimes God steps in and shows you that is not the path that you were supposed to take. So I was nicely nestled into my class, taking forensic psychology classes, and we had a visitor who came in, and she was a forensic psychologist. And I'm telling you, people, I had everything, every serial killer book you could think of from A to Z. I was dead set, had my application for the FBI right there. I was set in my path. So I thought. She came to visit. She looked like she hadn't slept in days. She talked about the nightmares that she was having and how stressed she was. And I just started thinking, this is not what I want. I don't want to bring all of that negativity and all of that negative energy into my life and into the lives of the people that were around me. I didn't want that. And so I started thinking I needed to go the opposite direction. And so that's when I started trying to figure out what could I do to de-stress? And anybody that knows anything about graduate school, especially, it's stressful.
Yeah.
It's a stressful process. So I just looked for anything to kind of pamper myself, and I like to pamper myself. So I was like,
Me too.
I like this. Yeah, I like this feeling better.
Yeah.
So the more I got into it, the more I started saying, hey, you know, I'm pretty good at this. I think I'll stay on this path. And it just made more sense. I was already into writing. I was already into, you know, writing books and the creative aspect. And I started digging a little deeper, and I'm like, hey, you know what? There's an area of psychology that kind of encompassed all of these things. It encompassed the whole Wusa meditation aspect. It encompassed the whole creative side, expressive arts therapy, the holistic side, the whole, you know, meditation and healing arts therapy. So I was like, why reinvent the wheel and go far left? I'll just focus on this side. So I made that shift and started going there.
And that was really good because you're already in the field.
Right.
You know, you're going to school for this particular area. There are some folk that just jump right into it.
Right.
But you are already there. You know what to give the people. You know what the people want, and you also know you love what you're doing.
Right.
In doing that, so I applaud you for letting the CSI folk do their job.
Right.
And
Right.
moving over to the folk who really do need your help and your assistance. This is very, very interesting, and we know that you're going to have some workshops, but
Yes.
we won't talk about that. Let's talk about Sunbasket.
Mm-hmm.
How did you decide on that?
Well, as you said, my husband is a chef.
Yes.
So
Yes. Talk about it.
So since he's a chef, he would come home and, you know, I pride myself on thinking that I can cook. You know, I come from a family of people that can cook.
Yeah. We all
So,
do.
you know, but he would stand over me in the kitchen and be like, no, that's wrong. You know, okay, well, we need to use this, we need to use that. So I would stand back and say, okay, well, you do it.
Mhm.
So, but in watching him, you know, we need to use these ingredients, they're a little fresher, this is, you know, healthier or whatever. I started saying, okay, you know, it does make a difference. And then just trying to be healthier altogether. I mean, Black people and people in general, but especially in the African American community, we have a habit of cooking things that are meemaws and, you know, that's been passed down, that's full of grease, that is really not good for us. We have high rates of high blood pressure and diabetes and so many things that are in our community that are plaguing us right now. And it comes a lot from the foods that we eat.
That's true.
So,
That's
it's good. It's good.
I was just ready to
It's
say, because
good.
I
It's
like a
good.
little bit of grease. Now, I'm not,
It's
you can
good.
talk to me all day long, but
It
I
is
would like
good.
some fried chicken.
Yeah, and I did too. My grandmother, she was great at that. But it's killing us.
Yeah.
You
don't have to have it every day.
Right. But and I mean, and I'm
Every
not
now and
saying
then.
don't treat yourself, and I'm not saying that everything that you eat has to be like cardboard or anything like that. So, the trick is that you have to be able to have something that tastes good, but it's also good for you.
Yes.
So when I stumbled across Sunbasket, and they had all of these fresh ingredients and things that are like these 30-minute meals, so it shouldn't take you a long time to make them. They come with
Right.
all of the ingredients there for you, recipes that are laid out for you, so it doesn't take you long. Like I said, it doesn't take you long to make. You don't have to have all of these extensive equipment or education as a chef to make these meals. You can pick like a family meal, like if you have children, or if it's just you can decide what type of meal that you want, what type of menu that you would like, and you can skip weeks if you want to do it weekly, or if you just want to try it for a little while to see if it's for you. So I really like that concept. They're a new business affiliate of mine, so I'm bringing them on to see, you know, how I like it and how my customer base responds to them. So
Have you tried any of the products?
I haven't, but I'm going to. But I do have a really close friend of mine who she tried them, and so that's what made me bring them on board
Okay.
because she liked them a lot. So I said, well, I'll give them a shot since she really liked them. She's using them. Again, shout out to Kat, Dr. Kat, who actually just got back from Thailand, speaking about health and wellness.
Wow. Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. So, will we have an opportunity for you to bring some into the studio and try some of the good products, or just think about it? Don't give me an answer right away. Don't give me an answer
I mean,
right away.
that could be an
Don't give me an
idea.
answer.
I might order something and then have my husband, Chef Chad, cook up something, maybe.
That would,
to
and I'd
bring
be
in
able
to
to let you
sample.
know
to
how
bring in a
good
sample.
this food is.
All right. And one of the workshops or one of the services that's also available for Visions of Serenity is healthy cooking classes with Chef Chad, my husband. So he can we can do it retreat style. We can do it however you would like. We tailor our workshops according to what people want.
Right.
So we can do them as small or as large as you like. It depends on what the needs are. I always say that I tailor my workshops according to the need, not according to what I think you should have. So we've done things according to churches, we've done things for small groups of schools, what have you. Guided imagery and meditation, I told you, is one
Okay.
that is pretty good to just, some people do it on an individual basis, some people don't know how to meditate.
Yeah. What are some of the things you talk about during that meditation?
Well, I find for people who especially don't know how to meditate, and interesting enough, I did a meditation class with a group of young people that would be considered like kind of goth kids.
Mm-hmm. That had to be interesting.
A whole group of teenage kids, suburban kind of Caucasian kids that had the hair, blue hair, and piercings, and they were looking at me and they were like, "You can't make me go to sleep. You can't make me relax." And by the end, I wish I had the pictures. They were all knocked out.
Really?
Asleep.
Wow.
So I find with people who aren't familiar with meditating, I start them out with a focusing exercise just to kind of get them to empty their mind and to kind of focus. So I'll have them focus on a candle or an object and kind of pour all of their concentration into that item.
Yeah. Yeah. And
so when they're focusing on that item, then they're shutting out everything else. Because if I just say, start meditating, you're going to start thinking about what you want for dinner.
Right, exactly.
What you have to do later.
Yeah, yeah. True.
You know, who you have to call back, who's going to be on your next show.
True.
So once I start with the focusing exercise and I finally get them to focus, then I usually will lead them in a guided imagery, kind of meditative exercise.
Okay.
I have them then start to close their eyes. We'll do a whole, follow my voice, like we're going on a trip to Aruba and we're laying back in the...
I love Aruba.
I do too, So we'll do that whole thing. And then by the time we get to the end of the guided imagery exercise, they are in a meditative state. And so...
How did those young people feel after it was all over?
Surprised. They were in shock because they couldn't believe that I had, in their words, tricked them into meditating.
Yeah, because you would think that, okay, you're invading a different type of atmosphere when you're talking to them, and for them to be meditating in a meditative state, oh my goodness. I know they said she used something.
Right.
And it was only your voice.
Right.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Well, we've been talking, you and I have been talking about an upcoming author's corner that we're going to have the date to be determined, and it's coming up within the next couple of months. And one of the things that Danielle will be featuring is her company.
Right.
So for those of you that are interested in holistic environments or practices, she will be there, and she will also have her books as well.
I will.
And you know, we've already invited her to showcase this, and I'm just very excited about her being a part of the Author's Corner. We've got others coming too, and I'll definitely let you know the list to be determined. But we definitely plan on having this in the next few months, and it's going to be at National Harbor. So we really, really want everyone to come out and just be, you know, curious about the books, about, you know, my books will be there, the shark series, how to swim with them, how to manage them, all of that's going to be there. And you know, you can find all of these books, Danielle's and my books, on Amazon.com and CreateSpace.com. Yours are also at Walmart as well, right?
Walmart.com,
Yeah.
booksamillion.com, pretty much any online retailer.
It's very exciting. So tell us about some of the other products in your company.
So I also had a natural spa product line called
Yes.
Serene,
Yes,
called
talk
Serene
about that.
Dreams, and I plan to relaunch that hopefully by next year. It's just I've been so busy with so many other projects
Yes.
that I haven't had a chance to really relaunch that. But it was very popular when I did have it. It was a lot of shea butter soaps and body butters. I was my own. I'm gonna tell you, I was my own best customer.
Yeah.
I was, you know, I loved it.
A lot of people I know love shea butter.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I loved it. You know, my favorite one was the honeyed orange. So,
oh wow. I can smell that, and you don't even have a sample.
I
here.
loved it. I mean, that was my favorite scent.
Yeah.
So when I relaunch, just remember that. Whenever I do relaunch, I will be announcing it. I'll probably be back on here.
Yes,
you know, telling
she will.
people about
yes,
it.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
So, but that is another one of the products that I have. So, you know, I'm planning on branching out, doing a couple of things. You know, have some retreats in mind, as I was talking to Dr. Vicky about, that I would like to do. You know, maybe do a couple of cruises. Who knows? You never know with me. You can never tell what I might do next. So.
Well, one of the things she'll probably be featured at that we both enjoy every year is the Congressional Black Caucus.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted Danielle to experience that as well. She was teasing me that my book was on the
Housewives of Potomac.
I plan on hoping to see them when I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
So we can talk about other books
Mm-hmm.
that could be on the show.
Right.
But yes, this environment just opens the door for authors. So, particularly at our Author's Corner, if you're interested in becoming an author, learning how to write books, just learning to be a better you, you know, or anything, just to come there and just ask questions about the author environment, the holistic environment, please, you know, just as soon as we have our date, put it on your calendar so you can be there, and so we can get to know you, and we can also offer our experiences in your personal and professional worlds, and how to just be a better you. So we just enjoy just helping others. So that's why we're having that Author's Corner. So next time Danielle's on the show, we're going to be talking about some books, her books, not my books, her books. And what was the other one? Our Eyes. What was the second book you wrote?
The second one. You talking about My Secret to Keep?
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
That was
That's the
My
one.
Secret to Keep was the follow-up to Secrets on Tobacco Road.
Yes.
Right.
And you know, I just call it Tobacco Road.
Right, and that's fine. People call it that as well. Yeah, My Secret to Keep. That was also a very popular one. So by the time you see me again, Dr. Vicky will have read those, so she can ask me some questions about those.
I tell you. Yes, ma'am.
But I'm also writing. I'm in the process of writing a health and wellness book that is going to be a companion book for the company. So a lot of the stigma, just a lot of stigma in the African American community, and I don't want to just keep talking about the African American community like that's the only community that I care about, but that is the community that I belong to, so that's the one that I'm speaking about. But there is a lot of stigma in that community about mental health, and that keeps people from seeking help for that. A lot of times, everybody's heard that, we got that crazy uncle that sleeps in the back room. Oh, don't worry about him, he's just crazy. But nobody thought about, what's wrong with that uncle? How can we help that uncle? What's going on with that uncle? That's always been the stigma. We are quick to shun people. We're quick to just kind of put people in a box to where they're not forthcoming about things that are going on.
Right.
My focus, as I was telling Dr. Vicky, is a holistic psychology. And one of the areas that I wanted to focus on was anxiety and depression, because I feel like it's definitely prevalent, especially in our community. It's prevalent when people don't acknowledge it. They don't acknowledge it, they don't address it, they don't do anything about it. And it's sad because people are walking around with this illness that can be treated, it can be managed, and they're not seeking help for it because they're afraid.
What would your suggestion be in that situation? What would you tell the viewers to do if they have relatives like that? How can they be helped?
Be supportive. Mental illness is not funny. It's not something to be laughed at. It's not something to make someone feel ashamed of. And I've had a lot of patients that I've worked with who they just needed someone to just talk to. And feel like they weren't alone. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the things that I just told you, like meditative exercises, can be helpful. And true story, when I was doing one of my practicums, I was seeing one of the patients and he had agoraphobia. And if you don't know what agoraphobia is, it is an extreme version of an anxiety disorder where you're afraid to leave your home. It's version, kind of teetering on PTSD as well too. So this boy was afraid to leave his house. He had been caught up in like a gun fight when he was younger. He got caught outside and someone was shooting outside and they were shooting above his head. So since then he was afraid to leave his house. So when he started coming to see me, we did some very non-traditional things when we were working together. We did some aromatherapy. We did some focusing exercises, some meditative exercises. And I taught him to kind of recognize his triggers when he felt like he was about to have a panic attack and how to calm himself down. And one day I looked out in the waiting room and I was like, well, where's your mom? Because he never went anywhere without his mother. And he said, I came by myself.
Wow.
And that was huge.
That was
huge. He had never been anywhere without his mother in years.
Wow.
And he had been through 5 therapists before me. 5 therapists before me. And I had only been working with this young man for a few months, but through holistic and meditative exercises, he had come further in a few months of working with me than he had in years of working with other therapists.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So he felt a calmness around you
right.
that he hadn't experienced before.
Right.
Simply in your demeanor and in your conversation with him, you're listening and communicating. Folks, I told you how important those two are,
right.
Listening and communicating and making sure that people are understood So you really had a breakthrough.
Right. And then he saw something different. You know, I wasn't doing the same thing, the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
And very non-traditional.
Yeah.
So I mean, he didn't get the same.
Yeah.
He didn't get the same
The
thing that he had
notebook.
been getting before. You know, I wasn't following the regular textbook.
The textbook and
you know,
writing down notes and
right. So
yeah.
that in and of itself was like, hey, wait a minute. Let's try something different.
That's why. Don't give away too much. Our
I'm not.
author's corner is gonna be huge, folks. You have to be there. Danielle is definitely gonna be teaching one of the classes. I'm gonna be teaching one of the classes. We have other folks that are gonna be piping in and teaching classes, but it's all for a better you.
Yes.
Any last words you'd like to leave our listeners with?
Thanks for tuning in. I mean, you guys seem to like me. I was looking at those numbers and I was like, wow.
I was looking at
Love
them
you
too. I was looking at them too. Let me tell you, I was really just, I couldn't believe it. Right at the end of the show, it was like 200 views, and I'm thinking, really, we weren't on that long.
Right. Yeah.
But thank you so much.
Mhm.
Again, if you'd like to check out Visions of Serenity's website, give it to them.
www.visionsofserenity.org. That's .org.
And if they'd like to contact you, what's that number? I've got it here, 202-599-3909. And if you'd like to send Danielle an email,
It's info@visionsofserenity.org.
say that again.
info@visionsofserenity.org.
Okay, again, this is Dr. Vicky McCray, you Shark Talkers. I thank you so much for tuning in to listen to Miss Danielle, and she will be at our Author's Corner, which will be featured in about a month or so. I'll have all that information to you, I promise. Love you. Let's give him a wave. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us today. We love you and look forward to seeing you and hearing from you soon.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to none other than the Shark Talk with that great woman of God, the Honorable Dr. Vicky McCray, and her special guest that's bringing us all this wonderful, powerful news. You know, there's a friend of mine that was out there named Don and his queen. We want to give a shout out. Can you give a shout out to Don and his queen?
Hi, Don.
Hi, Don and his
your
queen.
Shout out to you.
Okay, Don, I pray that you're listening to us, man. This is Shark Talkers. If you want to get a good book, guess what? You need to call Dr. Vicky McCray and get that book called Shark Talk. Shark Talk, swimming with the sharks, living with the sharks, cutting up sharks, and avoiding the sharks, and all that stuff. So you make sure you're hanging there. Give them a good old Shark Talk wave.
Okay, we are leaving you now, and we'll see you next week.